Write the heading as day 5. Day 5. Write the heading. Have you done this? Then we'll start the code. Then we'll start the code. So maybe we'll write what we want. Have you got this? Let us write h of s. H of s equal to 1 by s plus a, and then the impulse response h of t is how much? This, what is this? This is the transfer function h of s. This is the impulse response h of t, and what is the impulse response h of t? E to the power of minus at into u of t. And then what is the magnitude response? Magnitude response is given by 1 by square root of a square plus omega square. And what is the phase response? Phase response is minus tan inverse of omega by a. I have written this in the this is where I have written have you all written this? Could you open the Python notebook and have you written this? Import numpy as np, import matplotlib. Have you written this? And this I have typed it in the theory part, as a text part. I instead of putting a code block, I have put a text. And in the text, I have just put the transfer function is h of s is 1 by s plus a. Impulse response we know is h of t is e power minus a t ut. Magnitude response is 1 by square root of a square plus omega square. And the phase response is tan inverse omega by a. Have you done this? If you have done it, then we'll start coding. We will put some particular value of a and try to see the response. Have you done this? Have you opened your Python notebook? And have you done this? Yeah, doing okay. I'll give you some time. I'll give you some time. Please type in this. Type in this. Open your notebook and type in this. Once you are done it, then tell me. We will take in some value of h of s and try to plot. So let us plot the impulse response. Impulse response, and let us consider our system is h of s equal to 1 by s plus s plus a, okay, or say s plus 2. So now we need to plot the impulse response. So we need to define time for the impulse response. And let us say A equal to 2. If I do it general, then I can run it for different values of A and then see what happens. So I put A equal to 2 and then let me define my time. Time is NP dot linspace from 0 to, let us say 5, and let us say I want 100 values. 100 is a large number, but doesn't matter. And then what is my impulse response? H of t. H of t, my impulse response is given by, what is it? Np dot exponential exp minus at. That's it. Then what should I do? Let me plot it. Plt dot plot. Please run the cell. I mean, otherwise it will not work. So let us run this first cell. Run the first cell. And then now plt dot plot. What should I plot? T comma h of t. And then plt dot title. What is my title? Impulse response. What is my X label? PLT dot X label. It is T. Say time T. PLT dot Y label. It is the impulse response H of T. And what I always like to have the grid on. And so let's run and see whether we are getting the result. I'm defining my A as 2 and then np dot linspace, and then I'm running it. Let me run. And let us see this. By observing the area, do you tell the system is stable or unstable? Is this an example of a stable or unstable system? Have you done this? This is the impulse response. It is stable. Very good. Because, and you can also do the area. We are having the function for area. You can put that function, and those who are interested can try that. Out of those who are interested, please try this. Put the function for area, and then compute the area for the interval say 0 to 10. 0 to 10, and then see what is the area and whether the system is stable or unstable. So that is because you're already having the function for integration. You just call that integral function and compute the area, and area is stable. So this is what we got, the impulse response. So we took a transfer function and then we have written the expression for the impulse response and we plotted it, and from the area we know that it is. Now just change A as minus 2. Change A as minus 2. And then plot it and let us see what happens. Please run it for A equal to minus 2 and then tell me what do you think, is the system stable or unstable. Please run it for A equal to minus 2. Run it for A equal to minus 2 and then what happens? Run it for A equal to minus 2. Yes, thank you. So Lakshmi, thank you. So when we run it for A equal to minus 2, see how it went off. It went from 0. We went only up to 5, and what's the value? 20,000. And imagine I go to infinity, it will become very high, and we know that the system is unstable. So now instead of A equal to 2, run it for A equal to 0.5, 0.2. A equal to 0.2. Now run and see what happens. Is it stable, unstable? Put A equal to minus 2 and run and see what happens. How do you compare A equal to 1 and A equal to 0.2? How is it going now? It is slowly decreasing. It is slowly decreasing because we have fixed our time. Because my rate of decrease is e power minus 80 and A is 0.2. So when I write a general program, I can put any value of A and then I will get the result. So let us go back to our initial value of A equal to 2. So let's run it for A equal to 2. and then we can write a statement, print. So since area under h of t is finite, system is stable. This we can put so that this is something we are writing, and then since area under h of t is finite, the system is stable. So same thing, I can copy the whole cell and take another example and put in another cell, and now here my h of s minus a, and I put a equal to -2, and then since the area under h of t is infinite, the system is unstable. I can write it as system is unstable. So this is serve as a ready reference for you later on. That is why. So I run it, and then I plot and see it goes on increasing. So it's going to be unstable. So now let us try to do for the same example. Let us do the magnitude response. That is the frequency response. The frequency response. The magnitude. Let us do the magnitude response first. What is the magnitude response? Response is h of omega is 1 by square root of, we have that value. The magnitude response is given by 1 is equal to 1 by square root of a square plus omega square. So let's do this part, and then we will include the phase response as well. So now what we need to define now, A. A is, once again, let us say A is equal to 2. A equal to 2. And what is the frequency response? I mean, h of s. My system transfer function is, let us say, my system is h of s equal to 1 by s plus a, and my frequency response we know is given by 1 by a plus j omega. So now I put, and then I have my magnitude response. In the same program, we'll also include the phase response. First, let us do the magnitude response. So put a equal to 2. Now let me define my omega. Omega is, say, np dot linspace, from where to where I want to plot my a, let us say from minus 10 to plus 10, and let me put 100 values. I put 100 values. My frequency going from minus 10 to plus 10. And then what is my magnitude response? Magnitude response is given by 1 by square root of 1 by, what is the command for square root? Np dot sqrt of a square. What is a square? I can simply write a into a plus omega square. So what is NP? Omega is not a number, it's an array. So I want to raise this array to the power of 2. So omega comma 2. So I am, any doubt here? So I am doing NP dot square root of a square plus omega square. Omega is an array, so I am doing it power raising omega to the power of 2. And this is what I have, magnitude. And then what should I plot? PLT dot plot. Something versus magnitude response. What should I put here? What should I put here? What should I put? What should I put here? I am plotting omega versus magnitude response. And let me, yes, thank you, Pankaj. Yes. So let us run and see whether we get the result. and then let us put the title as well. PLT dot title, and what's the title? Magnitude response. Then what is my X label? X label is omega, and omega is actually omega in radians. And what is the Y label? Y label is H of omega. H of omega, the magnitude. So we will put it like this. So this is my, and always let us have the PLT dot grid on. So let's run it. So we will have the same figure from this. Yes, have you all got it? If you have got it, please tell yes. We are doing very simple. We are just plotting the magnitude response of the given system. And what is the system given to us? 1 by S plus A, a simple first order system. And we have also seen how to have the system using resistor and capacitor. You know, the simple RC circuit, we get the output. Yes. Yes, how many of you have got this result? Please type done. Or you want me to show the earlier cell? I will go back. Yes. I hope some more have got it. Do we have only? Okay, thank you. Thank you. So just run it for different values. Run it for A equal to 5 and see what happens. Put A equal to 5 and see what happens. Put A equal to 10. Put A equal to 10 and see what happens. Then put A equal to 0.3 and see what happens. What happens when A equal to 0.3? So then what do you want to conclude? And then retain the result as at A equal to 2, and then we get this value. Okay, so where is A equal to 2? A equal to 2 somewhere here, or put A equal to 1. Put A equal to 1 and see what happens. And now I have a question. You are having a program and you are having the result. Now you please run this program for different values and give me an approximate value, no problem. So now I want you to, what I want you to do is, we are having the transfer function H of S given by 1 by S plus A. And then please tell me for omega equal to 0, what is the value? And when omega is equal to A, what is the value? Tell me what is the value for omega equal to 0 and omega at H of A. When omega equal to A, what is the value? Please tell me this from your plot. From your plot, what is the value? Omega equal to 0, what's the value? What's the value when omega equal to A? You want to type it, you can simply you can do a print command. Maybe we'll go to another cell or we'll print it here only. Magnitude response. Yes. H of 0. H of 0 equal to, what is it? 1 by NP dot square root of, what will be, omega is 0, so it will be simply square root of A square, A into A. And what is the magnitude of H of A? H of A, what will it be? 1 by NP dot square root of A square plus omega. Omega is also equal to a, so that is also going to be a square. A square. And then print h of 0, and then print h of a. Print h of a. So what is this? This is nothing but h of 0, and this is h of a. So run it. When a equal to 1, what's the np dot sqrt? Yes. So what we get? The value at h of 0 is 1, h of a is 0.707. Did you get it? Did you get it? 0.707. Let us print. Yes. So what's your conclusion? Please print one more thing. Let us say print 20 into np dot log 10 of h of a. Print 20 np log 10 of h of a. What do we get? Log 20 log 10, 20 log base 10 of h of a. What do you get? What's the answer? Can anyone tell me what's the answer? It is -3. -3. What is the rate value now? Do you agree that this is -3 dB? -3 dB. It is -3 dB. So what is it? The magnitude is something at h of 0, and at a it has become -3 dB. So our 3 dB cutoff frequency of the filter is this. So okay, this I will put in a separate cell just to avoid confusion. Let me cut it and put in a separate cell. And let me retain this. Let me put a equal to 1. So here we are just trying to here what we are trying to do is to compute the magnitude response for omega equal to 0 and omega equal to a. Okay. So now this is either, so this is the response. Okay, I will remove this also. So let us run this cell, and what we have for a equal to 1, you are getting h of 0 is 1, h of a is this. So what has happened to the magnitude? It became 0.707 times the value at here. Put a equal to 2 and see what happens. Put a equal to 2 and see what happens. 2 and 0.35. Just see if 0.5 into 0.707 is 0.35. I repeat, see whether h of a is 0.707 times h of 0. See if h of a is 0.70 times h of 0. Or let us say let me multiply h of a into 0.707. Let me multiply it and see whether I get, I multiply or say I divide by h of 0. You see the ratio of h of a by h of 0 is 0.707. Let me change the value of a as say 0.2. And let me check again what I get. I get the same value. So what does it mean? my magnitude response at omega equal to A is 0.707 times the magnitude at omega equal to 0. So that is our important observation. And if you want the same in dB, so what is the observation? So print just a statement, the magnitude response at omega equal to A is 0.707 0.707 times the magnitude at h of 0. So this is our observation, an important observation from this. So 0.707. Similarly, in dB, it is going to be minus 3 dB down. So let us do the same to compute the value for omega and 0. We have this 20 log base 10 this and of h of 0, and this is 20 log base 10 of h of 0. So let us run it for n equal to say 0.2, and then what we find? Okay, so what we find is it is the ratio of h of A to h of 0 is always minus 3 dB, whatever is the value of A. Let me take A as say 1. Let us say A as 1. Let us say A as 1. So A as 1, then log 0 is 0. So it is 0 dB, and at when A is equal to omega, what happens is minus 3 dB. So what does it mean? A is the 3 dB cutoff. So what we have is we have something we already know. So h of 0 is some value. Let us say some value. This is some value x. Let us say this is x, and this will be okay. Let's not write that. This is known as the 3 dB down. 3 dB down. So that is why A is also known as the 3 dB cutoff. 3 dB cutoff of any filter. 3 dB cutoff of any filter is given by this quantity. So now let us go back to our magnitude response, and then let us run it. How many of you have got this magnitude response plot? The dB and phase, that you don't worry. Some of you might have followed it, but others doesn't matter. Are you comfortable with this quantity of getting the magnitude response and plot it? So then what we want to write here, we will we'll write a statement, print since magnitude decreases with frequency, the filter is a low pass filter. Since magnitude decrease, so let's run it, and this is what we have from the magnitude response. We have that the magnitude decreases, and hence it's a low pass filter. Now tell me, if I in A equal to, instead of A equal to, let us say I make A as 0.2, then how is my cutoff? Is it increasing or decreasing? Let me run it. Let me run it, and what I have, A equal to 0.2. So what is my 3 dB cutoff frequency? Who can tell me? What is the 3 dB cutoff? We can add one more statement. Print the 3 dB cutoff is what's the 3 dB cutoff? 0.2. So as I increase A, now suppose I increase A to, let us say 1. If I, instead of 0.2, let us make it as 1. Then what happens? How is my frequency response? This is my frequency response. Look at A equal to 1. This value is going to be 0.707. This is 1, 0.707 times this. So 3 dB down, 3 dB down I have it. So my cutoff frequency of the filter is A equal to 1. If I make A as say 10, if I make A as 10, then what happens? Let me run it for A equal to 10 and let me see what I get. A equal to 10. See what is the value at 0? It is 100. What is the value at A equal to 10? Point. I mean this is 0.1 and this is 0.707. So once again we have the 3 dB cutoff at 10. Is it clear? Is it, we are taken a simple first order system and we are trying it, and then we are observing that it is a low pass filter and with the cutoff of this. So now let us do the same and let us try the phase response. Let us do the cell for plotting the phase response. So let's take one more cell, take a new cell, take a new cell and let us write it as to plot the phase response. Phase response. Once again, we will take h of s is 1 by s plus a. S plus a. And then what is my phase? What is my phase given by? What was it? Minus tan inverse of what? Who can help me complete it? What is the phase response given by tan inverse? How do I get the phase? How do I get the phase? Minus tan inverse. Minus tan inverse of very good. Thank you. Yes, tan inverse of omega by A. Tan inverse of omega by A, I'll get the phase response, and that is it. H of omega, if I take, this is 1 by A plus j omega. So now let us write the program for doing this. So let us plot it. So what I have is, let me give A equal to, let us say 2. A equal to 2. Then I need to define omega. Omega is np dot linspace. Linspace, let us say minus 10 to 10, and let us say 100. I'm plotting my omega from minus 10 to 10, and this is what I have. Then my phase response. My phase response is given by what is this? NP dot arctan. What does arctan do? Tan inverse minus omega by A. That's all. And this is going to give me my angle in radians. If I want the angle in degrees, I just multiply by 180 and divide by np dot pi. Then I will get my answer in degrees. So if I want my phase response in degrees, I'm multiplying it by, I'll put on the next line for clarity. This is my phase response, and phase response equal to phase response into Of course, you can simply put it into and equal to, but let us have it this way so that it's clear. And then let me plot PLT dot plot omega versus phase response. And once again, you keep giving the title. What's the title? Title is phase response, and then give PLT dot X label. X label is omega. Omega in radians, and what is the Y label? PLT dot Y label is the phase response. We have converted to degrees. Phase response we are giving in degrees. So let's run it and then see how is the phase response. Yes, who can help me correct the error? What's the error here? Why am I getting an error? Who can help me correct the error? Why am I getting an error? Who can help me correct the error?
Spelling of response.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I've gone wrong in my phase response, so I should get it right now. Yes. Yes. So now let us see the phase plot. Okay, we always put the grid also. PLT dot grid. It's just that, and then run it. So this is what we got. See the angle. It's gone. It's only around 80 degrees, plus minus 80 degrees. Let us go a little more further. Now, when I'm running my omega from minus 10 to plus 10, I'm not able to run it, go from mine. I want to see that, I want to show that my response actually goes from minus 180 to plus 180, minus 90 to plus 90. So I want to plot this. I want to plot it from say minus 30 to plus 30. So let me run it from, I'll change my omega. Let us say plus 30, minus 30 to plus 30. And let me run it and see whether I'm able to get the angle. Look at my phase angle. It stabilizes at 90 degrees. Or let us do say minus 20, minus 20 to plus 20. Yes, so now the scale has changed. Okay, if I make the scale as maximum, you see that the maximum, suppose I want to see the maximum value. How will I see what is the maximum value? Phase, what's the last value? Let me check. Print phase response of minus 1. What will it give me? The final value. What is the value of the value at here? So let me run and see what's the value. I've got it as minus 84 degrees, minus 84 degrees here, because I've gone from minus 20 to plus 20. Let us say I go from minus 100 to plus 100. And let us see whether my angle goes to see, it's gone to minus 88, and you will agree that when I go to infinity, it's going to go to 90. So okay, let's not keep it. Let's keep our figure as here itself, minus 10 to plus 10. So now change the values of A and see how it is. Let us say I put A equal to 0.2. What happens to my phase plot? How is my A equal to 0.2? It is sharper. Let me put A equal to 5. Put A equal to 5 and see how is the plot. Put A equal to 5 and see how is the plot. So you see the slope depends on the value of A. So the curve, the phase response is steeper it's a function of A. It depends on A. Now what I wanted to do is, we have put separately, we have put in one cell the magnitude plot, in another cell the phase plot. I want both to be in the same cell. How many are doing it? How many are doing it? Please put both of them together in the same plot. Say we have done separately the magnitude response and the phase response. So now what we will do is, we will put we will try to have the magnitude and phase plot in the same figure. Same figure or same plot. So let's put both of them together. I will just copy and bring it down. I have the magnitude response. I will take this and bring it here, and then I will put my I'll put this here, and then I'll put my phase plot also. I just have to get this. I'll put the phase plot. Then I want it as two subplots. So what should I do now? I will call this as my PLT dot subplot 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. This is what I have. This is the computation. Yes, this is my omega. This is my magnitude response. This is my phase response. And this is what I have. This is my subplot of 1, the other plot is PLT dot subplot 1, 2, 2. So I'm running the same. I just got the lines from the earlier cells. I have omega, I have magnitude response, I have phase response, and then I am plotting in one subplot. I am doing the magnitude plot, and in the other I'm doing the phase plot. Let's run and see whether we get the result. So now what happened? I have them one beside the other, the magnitude response and the phase response. From the magnitude response, we can say that this is a low pass filter. And what is the 3 dB cutoff? If I want, I can put a print command, print the 3 dB cutoff is equal to, and then this is what I have. You want to have the impulse response also, we can have that also in this curve itself. So let us put the magnitude plot, the phase plot, the impulse response also in the same curve. And the impulse response, the magnitude plot, everything in the same curve. So let us get the lines for the impulse response from above. Where is my impulse response? This is what I have. I have H of S. I have this plot. Let me get this curve. I need A, I need H of T, and I need this plot. Let me get that line from the impulse response. And this is what I have. Let us put, so this is my T, and I define my T and H of T. I have defined my omega, I define my H of this. I have plot. Now what should I put? I want three curves. So what should I put now? I want three, one beside the other. What should I put here? Subplot 1, I want impulse response, the magnitude response, the phase response, all one beside the other. What should I change here? PLT dot subplot 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 1, 3, 2, and then 1, 3, 3. So 1, 2, 3. I have the three plots all one beside the other. Putting an extra line is always good so that it's clearer. Otherwise, the program looks very big. So now if I see I have this, let me run it. I put A equal to 2, I run it. And how is my result? See, this is my impulse response. This is my magnitude response, the phase response. Change A. Let us change A. Let us change the value of A. A is say 0.5, and let us see what happens if I make A as 0.5. So now my 3 dB cutoff is 0.5, and then what we have, the impulse response decays very slowly. It has become slow in time domain, but it got compressed in the frequency domain. and this is my phase response. If you don't want the phase response, you want only magnitude, the impulse response, so that is fine. So what, and let me put A is equal to even more less. Let us say let me put A equal to 0.3 and let me run it. And then what happens? See, it decays slowly, but it becomes narrower. Let me make A large. Let me make A is high. Then what happens? Let me make A is equal to, let us say 3. I make A is higher. So 0.3 is I make A equal to 3. Let me run the program with A equal to 3 and see. Then what happens? I have A equal to 3. So what happened now? How is it in time domain? It decays very fast. But how is it in the frequency domain? It is, it has, the cutoff frequency has increased. The cutoff frequency has increased. So if I try to compute the area under the impulse response, and if I compute the area under the magnitude response, can you tell me if I decrease the area under the impulse response, what happens to the area under the frequency response? The magnitude response. If I decrease the area under the impulse response, what happens to the area under the magnitude response? So this is my impulse response, area under the impulse response. If I try to decrease the area under the impulse response, what happens to the area under the magnitude response? So let me make it say h equal to 1. I mean A equal to 1.
Increases.
Yes. So if I have this is what I have. Putting A equal to 1, this is my impulse response, and this. And if you feel this is not so clear, one beside the other is not so clear, you make it 3, 1. 3, 1, then probably it will be more clearer. 3, 1, and then this, then probably then the figures are a little clear. 3, 1, 3, what will happen? Everywhere you put the same number, 3, 1, and then now run it. And then what we have? This is my impulse response. This is my magnitude response. This is my phase response. And this is my phase response. So now if I change my A as, let us say 0.1, and then you see what happens. When I do my 0.1, it is decreasing so slowly. But how about in the frequency response? It has become, it's the cutoff frequency has reduced because my 3 dB cutoff is only 1. So whichever you feel like you want to have it, one beside the other or one after the other, I think 1, 3 was better. 1, 3, 1, 1, 3, 1, 1, 3, 1. Now let's run it and just have a working code, because I'll be sharing this code after the. So is it clear? So we have seen, and from the frequency response, this is a low pass filter. It's a low pass filter, and this is what I get. Now let's take let us compute h of omega at some value. So what we'll have is we will try to compute. We have seen how to plot the magnitude and the phase response, and then we have h of omega. H of omega is given by 1 by a plus j omega, and let us say now my input is say a cos 2 pi t, and let us say what is my output. Input is output is going to be this one, a cos 2 pi t, and then multiplied by h of omega naught. So let's do this. So then we know that the magnitude is going to decrease by some magnitude, and there is going to be a phase delta. So we had seen in the multisim line, we'll take the same result. We have seen impulse response, we have seen magnitude response, and the phase response. Now what we will see is we will try to plot the input and output for input being sinusoidal. sinusoidal, and my system is once again say h of s is equal to 1 by s plus a. My system is once again 1 by s plus a, and I want to plot it. So then what is my, let us say a equal to, once again, let us say 2. My input, let me not call it, let us say x of t, because it's an inbuilt keyword, it leads to a problem. Input x of t is, let us say 5 times np dot sine let me call it as omega naught. Omega naught is say 2 pi np dot pi. My input is omega naught, and that is 2 pi. So my x in my input signal is 5 sine omega naught, and then into time, and I need to define time also. And what is my time? Time is say np dot linspace. Linspace say 0 to 2 0 to 2 comma let us say 100 values. So this is my this. So before doing, let me first plot. Are you doing this? Am I fast? So now what I want to do is I want to have x of t, and I want to also have y of t. I want to plot x of t and y of t because we have done this in Multisim Lite. Now this is my input signal. Input signal x of t is 5, some magnitude I have given, sine omega naught t. And what is my omega naught? Time 2 pi. It's just for making the program general, so that I will change the frequency and I will be able to see the output. Are you with me? Are you doing it? You want some time to type in? I'll give you some time. Then we will write the corresponding output. We will write the corresponding output. We will write the corresponding output. We will write y of t. So magnitude response, magnitude at omega naught. What is the magnitude at omega naught? 1 by np dot square root of a square plus omega naught square. Omega naught square. What is the phase at omega naught? This is going to be np dot arctan minus omega naught divided by a. This will be in degrees, and then I want it in radians. I want in degrees, so I will simply multiply it by 180 by np dot pi. Are you clear? Any doubt in any of the lines that we are trying to do? So now we are having an input. We are having an input signal x of t. We are having the transfer function h of s. We are computing the value of h of omega at omega naught. My input is omega naught, sine omega naught t at omega naught. So magnitude at omega naught, what is it? Square root of a square plus omega naught square. What is the phase angle? Tan inverse of minus omega naught by a. I'll get this. Then what is my output y of t now? What is y of t? Who can tell me what is y of t? Anyone who's following? What is y of t? How is my output y of t going to be related to input? X of t will get multiplied by the magnitude at omega naught. The magnitude is going to change. Magnitude is going to get multiplied by this, and then np dot into okay, let me put my output magnitude is what? 5 into magnitude at omega naught. And how about the output phase? Output phase will be this much. This is what I have. And finally, what is my output? Y of t is going to be my output magnitude. Multiplied by np dot, what is my input signal? Sine omega t. Np dot sine omega naught t. This doesn't, frequency doesn't change. You remember we said that. And there is going to be a phase delay. There's going to be a phase delay. How much is the phase delay? This is what I have. This is what I have. Let us try to plot. PLT dot plot t comma xt is my input. And PLT dot plot t comma yt. This is my output. Let's run. I hope it runs. Yes, I have my output. And let me put the label. Let me put it. What is the label? Input. And what is this label? Label. This is the output. And let me put the title. What's the title? Title is response to sine input. Response to sine. Then put my X label. PLT dot X label will be time in seconds. And what is my Y label? PLT dot Y label. And this is the is either the input and always good to have the grid on. And this is what we have. So run it. This is when I have given my A, I have selected my A as something. Any doubt here? Any doubt here? And I'm running it, I'm seeing the output. And let me retain my A. Let my omega naught is 2 pi. Let me make omega naught as 0.2 pi. And let us see what happens. We are not able to see because it's a very small. I need to. Yeah, let me make this as let me increase the time duration of my signal so that it becomes 0 to 5 instead of 0 to 2, and let me plot it. So this is my input and output. Yeah, which one you want me to explain? Okay, this command. Yeah, thank you. So one way of writing is it's a C command. It's in C also. If you recollect, if I have, I can put A equal to A into 3. This is where. But now if what I've done, I've given the A itself, I've named it so long. So the same, it will also work if I simply put. It is same. A equal to A into 3 can be written in another alternate way as A equal to. This is just a shorter way of writing the command. Both are same. If you want, I will retain the earlier line because the A I have made it phase at omega naught. So because when we make long labels are clear, then it becomes easier when we look at our own program after a time. Thank you. Any other part? Any other part? Now see, there is something very, very beautiful that we are seeing. We did we have taken a transfer function h of s. We have taken s plus a as the transfer function. We plotted the impulse response, we plotted the magnitude response, then we plotted the phase response, and we were able to see how it decays. We were able to tell the 3 dB cutoff, and then we were also able to tell whether it is stable or unstable by looking at the impulse response. We did so much, and then all this is theory. Finally, how do we apply the theory? We are applying the theory and we are giving my input. I'm giving my input x of t as something, say a cos omega naught t, and then how do I get the output? All that I have to do is y of t. I have to first compute h of omega at omega naught, and then I multiply a by magnitude of h of omega naught, and then my cos omega naught t, and there is going to be a phase delay. And how much is the delay? H of omega naught. So now what is it? I gave a real input. This is the most important conclusion. My input is real. I give a real input, I get a real output. So finally everything is real. What about all the frequency response, everything that happened? We had complex terms, that was all for mathematical analysis. And this real input, real output, you can see even using the circuit simulation of multisim. Magnitude response, frequency response is all our mathematics, all our what is the phase delay? How will I know unless I do the frequency response? By how much the magnitude changes, how will I know? I can do this. Theoretically, I can compute, I can predict, I can verify it by using the lab. Do you realize the beauty of the complete mathematics that we have done? Final result is only real signal, real output. And what about magnitude phase response? It is just to see when I look at impulse response, does it have any meaning? Step response has a meaning, but not the impulse response. Impulse response, we saw it, and then we can tell it's a low pass filter, high pass filter. And then if I, for this value, now let me change my A as A itself, I will change it as say 0.8 into A can be any number, np dot pi. Let me run it. See, I'm giving my A is also pi. Let me make A as pi. So my 3 dB cutoff is also pi. I'm giving my input also as, say, my omega naught is also pi. And let me run it and see what happens. What happens? I get this. This is my, I think there's something wrong. Did I go wrong here? Magnitude 1 by square root of a square plus omega square. Oh, I have not put this 5. That's the problem. Correct. So this is, yeah, I was wondering why. So 5 by. So because I have given a 5 here, so now look at the input and the output. See, I have my input, I have the output. What is my multiplication factor? Point at a 3 dB cutoff. We are getting, we saw in the previous, this is what my 3 dB cutoff. My cutoff is at pi, A equal to pi at 3 dB cutoff. My output is 0.7 time and there's a delay of 45 degrees. Now let me change my input. Instead of 3 dB cutoff, let me make it as say 0.1. Anyone remembers? So now it is in the pass band and the cutoff frequency is pi. But now my cutoff, I'm putting 0.1. I'm giving my input signal as a frequency of 0.1. So now we do not find much phase difference. Let us run it and see. The frequency is very less. The frequency is very less. So let me. See now what happens. It's a very slow, so there's a less difference. Now let me make the frequency very high. Let me make it as, say, 10 times. I increase the frequency, and when I increase the frequency, what should happen? When I increase the frequency, it's a low pass filter, and saw the output has become very small. Very small. This also is something we saw in the Multisim Live. So what you get there, we can verify it here as well. See, my output is attenuated, and you wanted it to expand it. I can change the time scale. I can change the time scale, and then I will get the output. We used to change the times per knob in the Multisim Live. So have you understood what is 3 dB cutoff? So finally, I give a real input, I get a real output. That's the most important component. And I hope you are able to understand everything together in one. We have done time, impulse response, phase response, magnitude response, and also computing the output for a given sinusoidal input. And these results tally with whatever, and in a real circuit, if I want to do a circuit implementation, I will get the same output. Is it clear? Is it clear? Is it clear? So now for homework, any doubts? Are you able to appreciate there is nothing complex that exists? Everything that is physical is only is real. The Fourier transform, everything was so complex, but finally magnitude and phase I compute, and I multiply my input amplitude, and I give a phase delay. I give a phase delay. Any questions? Any questions? So if I give you a homework, you will be able to do it. Now suppose I give you a homework as h of s is, say, s by s plus a. S by s plus a. Shall we try this example? Shall we try this example here right now? Okay, I think we'll not confuse it. You can try for homework and see whether you are able to get it. So now I give you two homework problems. One is this is one problem. What happens to the transfer function if I change it this way? And the second homework problem is, how does the program get modified if I change it to say specific example? We saw only one pole, say s plus 2 into s plus 1. If I have a transfer function like the same problem, I want you to try for getting the magnitude response, the impulse response, the phase response, the frequency, everything. Just try it. And if you're not able to do it anyway, we'll do it in the class next class. So any doubts? Any doubt? So then my question or homework, yeah, can you try this? Any doubt? You want a hint for solving this problem? You want a hint for solving this problem? At least try this. The first part you leave it. At least this one problem you can try. You want any hint? You want any hint, or you can do it? Will you be able to do it? So h of omega will be very simple. H of omega will be once again 2 plus j omega and 1 plus j omega. And you will have, you know to write the program for this. You know to write the program for this. Just multiply. Just multiply, and you will get it. You will get, multiply the magnitude of this, multiply the magnitude of this, you'll multiply and you'll get the overall response. And similarly, you need to express it as a partial fraction. You need to express it as a partial fraction. This will be a by s plus 2 plus b by s plus 1. B by s plus 1, and then you will get the impulse response of this, impulse response of this. It's an addition. So impulse response of this and impulse response, add it, and then you will get the total impulse response. So you can try this specific problem and for homework. Any doubts? Any doubts? Anyway, I will share this code so you can practice it in case you missed out on some lines. So you can try. So given one problem, we can do it in Python. We can also do the same in Python. We can get the plots. Like doing the same by calculating by hand becomes difficult. So you can see how the cutoff changes and how the input and a final input output is a system. When I give a sine input, I get a sine output, and what is the change in magnitude and phase. So we'll stop here. Tomorrow we will not have a class. I will post some homework like last time. Maybe I will post it right now. Yeah, I'll post it in some time, and you can try. Or we'll have it like a quiz last time. I'll upload it at 10 o'clock. It will be open till next day morning 10 o'clock. So you'll have 1 day time to try. So based on whatever we have covered today and we have covered in multisim, I'll give you a small circuit for implementing in multisim live as well. I wanted to do one example. Okay. I will do it in the next class. So tomorrow I have some other commitment. So we will go ahead as planned with the quiz that we had planned for tomorrow. So you'll have the quiz tomorrow. It will be posted, and then there, I don't think there's any break. We'll continue. We have the next class on Friday. Yes, we'll have the next class on Friday. So thank you. Any doubts? Are you confident of whatever we have done today? Whatever we have done today, are you confident? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.